Hello, this is Kathy McAnally, and I'm coming to you from Bixby, Oklahoma. I have an Etsy shop called R&R Woven Treasures, and today I'm excited to bring you a whole new episode in how she made that. This summer I'm going to be recording several of these, so stay tuned and watch. And don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button if you choose to. I want to show you what we're going to be talking about this summer. We're going to be talking about pillows. Pillows are really fun to weave because you can do a lot with a pillow. And some things you can't do with other things that you might make, like a table runner or tea towels. So pillows can really lend themselves to some design features. For example, in this particular pillow that we're going to be talking about today, we have a hand-spun accent thread, and it's called a beehive spinning, or method of spinning, and you can see the beehive here, and you can see that it's also variegated in a number of different colors, and I chose a nice aqua green to kind of match these colors here in it. I could have chosen the yellow or several of the other colors that are balanced throughout this pillow. And it's fun to play around with the weave structures and the different ways that you can make pillows. So we're going to be talking about that. In this video, as well as all my videos, we're going to be talking about 3 different phases. First of all, the design. You have to design it first and make your plan. Then we're going to talk, and I'll show you how I wove it on the loom a little bit. And then we're going to talk about the finishing process. So let's get started. Over here. Hello. Okay, let's look at our design phase. Here we have a very simple straight twill pattern, and you can see it's a straight twill because it's just a line, so it's really easy to thread. Now you could use just about any pattern you so desire. I mean, that your loom will handle for the ends on this. It makes it really versatile. This happens to be the one that I used, and you can see that it's going to give us almost this zigzag effect. And it also is a very tightly wove pattern. It doesn't have a lot of floats, and floats are when one thread goes over multiple threads. So you end up with a single thread. It might be your warp, which is your vertical threads, or it might be a weft thread. And the weft thread would go over multiple vertical threads. Plain weave, it goes up and down and doesn't skip over more than one. So it just goes over one, over, up, over, up. So it's a very simple plain weave. And in fact, after I finished weaving the ends in this nice twill, then I switched over to plain weave. And that's because plain weave is very plain. It's kind of like when you're designing a picture, you want to paint a picture. You want to add some blank space to it. The sky, a field of grass. You don't want to have too much going on the whole thing because your eyes are going all over the place. So if you want to take a picture, or maybe you want to design a graphic, or do something that's going to grab people's attention and focus their attention on one thing. And in this pillow, I wanted to focus their attention on the use of this hand-spun special fiber in the middle. So I started off with something that was very color concentrated on the ends, went to plain weave, which was all ivory. So it's very plain, no texture to it, very flat, and it was all ivory, so it had it's kind of like the blank space or white space. And then I put in my accent threads. The next step, I'm going to show you how we did that. So if you're interested in this pattern, This is in handweaving.net, which I use constantly. It's a wonderful service. I highly recommend, if you are a weaver, to take a look at it. And if you like what you see, you can download these patterns and use them yourself for a very small fee. So I will put in a plug for their service. It's a wonderful service, and it helps promote the weaving of many of these ancient patterns. I don't know how old this one is. This one was from Mr. Griswold's first volume. Now, I do happen to notice that there are 3 volumes here, and I've used, they're very extensive volumes, so there's thousands, quite literally, of patterns in a lot of these drafts or a lot of these volumes. And in this whole handweaving.net is just wonderful. You'll have so much fun. So take a look at it. And next, let's go to the loom and see how to weave this. And I'll show you how I put that special hand-spun fiber into the center of the pillow next. Thank you. Okay, let's take a look at weaving this simple twill that we have on the ends of the pillow. Now this is 4 rug cotton threads, just straight 100% cotton. So we're going to put that in there. Now remember, I put in 1/3 on each end, so that'd be a total of 2/3 of the pillow size that I want in this twill pattern. So I've got to weave about 14, plus I need a seam allowance, so I've got about 14 different repeats of this particular pattern. The other thing that you'll have to remember is that this shrinks. Cotton shrinks. So if you intend to wash it afterwards, you're going to have to wash it and then sew it. You don't want to sew it and then wash it, because if you sew it to standard cotton fabric or to a cotton poly fabric, it is going to have different shrink rates and it's going to ruin your project. So make sure that you wash before sewing it, or if you choose not to wash it, because we don't generally wash pillows, we may spot clean them, and the hand spun may not, I definitely wouldn't put it through the washer, I'd hand wash it. So that's up to you, whether you want to hand wash it, or wash it in the washing machine. But this is 8/4 cotton thread. I've used the same thing in my warp threads here in my vertical threads. And for a little accent color, I'm going to add a stripe or 2 of this really nice pearl cotton. And this is 3/2 pearl cotton, so it's about the same size as the 100% regular cotton. And so that's what I'm adding here now. And you can see it's a very quick weave. You're just going right down, and it's pretty easy to keep track. For the size pillow that I'm making, I need a total of 14 of these repeats. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 11. This will be 12. And I'll continue doing this. And then I'm going to add 2 more of these, so I'll have a total of 14 different repeats. Then I'll do my plain weave, and I'm going to show you next how to add the accent thread. Okay, let's put in this accent thread now. We've got a stick shuttle here, because it's, let me get this thread back on my stick shuttle here. And what I've done is just raised 1 shaft, so it's going to be put on the cloth, but very, very lightly. And so a lot of it's going to show, and it's going to look pretty good. And you can pull some of that through, see, pull some of it through the hole. You don't pull too much. There we go. That looks good. Now, this particular one came in 2 different colors. So I've got the brown here next. And this is a different shaft. Just again, 1 shaft. So, you have to get some of the thread off of your stick. when you put it through there, it'll go through there. Don't use a stick shuttle that much, because I don't really work with this. This type of thread is a little expensive, so you want to use it sparingly, and just as accent thread, it's you know, not going to be something you're going to use a lot of. And so that's how I'm going to do mine. And you could play and experiment with this. You can see that it looks good together. You could use just the blue or just the brown with this particular thread. And I've got the one that I used, that I showed you when I started this. And you can see that this is spun a little differently. It's not as, the beehives are a little tighter. They're not as loose. You can see the size of the beehives. So you kind of just have to play with it and get it the way you want it to be. I like the way this one spun more than this one, because this one gets pretty loose when you're looking at those beehives. So, and also you want to look at the fiber content. Most of this is cotton with a little bit of wool. Some of it has some acrylic to it. So, you know, they can use a lot of different fibers, and you see this one even has a little metallic glistening thread through it that's spun around it. That's kind of nice. So you can find a lot of different fibers to play with on pillows, and it's really fun. And so next I'll put in about 2 or 3 rows of plain weave, maybe four to 6. And then I'll put another couple of these. I'll probably do 3 sets of these accent threads throughout this pillow. And you can vary that with the size of your pillow. The bigger the pillow, the more of it you can use. And you can see I'm not going to use very much of this, just to do 3 of these lines. So hope you like this. And next we'll talk about finishing it. Now remember, cotton does shrink, so if you're going to wash this, wash it gently. So this is hand dyed, so you want to test it to make sure that it's not going to come off. And by testing it, you can just cut a tail off a little bit and put it in some water and see if the dye turns loose. If it doesn't, then you're good to wash it gently. And I hope you'll enjoy making a pillow like this. Let's start with the finishing process. First of all, this construction is very simple. It's a simple envelope style pillow. And I chose to use for the backing material just a simple cotton. You could use anything that you have, any fabric that you have available at home, maybe a scrap or something like that. But you know, it's got 2 panels. One is up inside the other so that it makes an envelope style pillow. There you can kind of see it through there. And on the other side with the hand woven, we have this side has been lined. And I will say this, I am not a seamstress. I love to weave, but I hand it over to my seamstress. I have a wonderful seamstress. Her name's Glenna, and she does just a perfect job. She is a quilter and has that ability to take your stuff and just make a wonderful product out of it. So she does all my sewing. So she's lined the back of this with this very sheer liner here, and that makes it really nice. And you can see this is one of the problems that we have with hand woven, because it's not woven as tightly as a machine could do. You know, it's hand woven, and I use a very thick thread. This is a standard rug thread. And so here we have, to start off with, she's put in a zigzag stitch, and that's to keep it from fraying. So you can see that I can pull on this and it's not going to fray any further than this. And I'll just snip that little thread while I'm here. There it goes. Okay, so she's got it zigzagged at the top, and then she's made just a simple straight seam. And that's all it is, all around all 4 sides. So you can see even where the accent thread has been done. That's what she's done. She's just gone right over it with her zigzag stitch and then her single seam on the inside. So we've got this zigzag here on the outside and then the single seam there on the inside. It's just extremely simple to make a pillow, and it's a wonderful first project for a beginning weaver. One of the reasons why is because you don't have to worry about your salvage edges being perfectly straight. You know, when you cut your material for your pillow, you can you know, cut off those wavy edges. You know, so we start weaving. Sometimes we pull a little too hard, sometimes we're a little too loose, and so we end up withdrawing, and then it comes back out again, so it looks like a accordion on the edge, and that's not good if it's tea towel. So, you know, getting your tea towel edges straight is pretty difficult. It takes a skill. It takes a while to learn that. So, pillow is a good way to start, and you can. They're just really simple. A lot of beginning seamstresses also start with pillows. So that's how we do it. Now remember, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, because then you'll be able to see all of our other episodes that we're going to be making over the summer. And the other thing is, check out the shop. The shop name is R&R Woven Treasures, and that's on Etsy. I'm going to put the link in the comments so that you can click on it and check out our products in there. And if you find something you like, favorite it. It always brings a smile to our face, and it helps us determine what colors and what styles people like. It just really helps us out, even if all you do is favorite something. It also sends a message to Etsy that this shop is active, that it's getting likes and people are liking what they see. So, and of course, you can always order something from me. I take orders in many different colors and in different styles. If you have something that you like woven in a pillow and you have an idea, let me know and we'll see if we can't do it. The other thing that you can do to help is to make a purchase, and we'd love to have you come into the shop and check it out. So I'll see you next time here on the farm in our little weaving shop. We'll talk to you later. This is Kathy McAnally saying bye now.